Welcome again to another episode of the Mixtape Matinee. I'm your host, Cole.
And I'm Court.
And this week we're talking about two different albums that me and Court decided to pick. And I guess I'll go first since I'm the one that chose the album this week. I chose this album by the band Choncy and their album 20X Multiplier that just came out this year at the beginning of March.
Nice. And I chose the album Castling, which was released in 2023 by the artist Frankie Traandruppel.
Cool. So if you don't mind, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about my album.
Yeah.
So this week I wanted to go more towards music that really resonates with me, since it was my week to pick. And this album, I just heard, I follow a lot of different music accounts on Instagram, and I saw just this album was posted and people were talking a lot about it and saying a lot of good things about it. So I thought I'd pick it. But Choncy is a band from Cincinnati, Ohio. The people in the band are Liam Shaw, who's the lead vocalist and guitarist, Simon Chandler, who is the lead guitarist, Nathan McVie, who's on bass, and then Joe Carpenter on drums. Interestingly enough, Joe Carpenter, the drummer, he's the one that did the album artwork. So, and the album artwork is super cool. It's kind of like this glitched out Xerox looking thing on the front that has the band's name and the album title in it. But I just wanted to go ahead and read the band's bio that's on their Bandcamp and what they say about the album. They say Choncy hones in on their sonic persona by bridging the gaps between angular post-punk and abrasive hardcore, pushing their song to its absolute limits, with chaotic mix of relentless bass, sharp drums, splintering guitars, and off-kilter vocals. Choncy provides a glimpse into the grotesque realities of life. And then later on down in their bio, it also says that 20X Multiplier displays a maniacal yet ingenious approach to punk that can only be compared to hitting a slot machine jackpot or maybe committing tax fraud and running for the Secretary of Defense. Let this record be a proclamation of what could have been if only they knew the right numbers to pick. So I just thought that said it way best, from the band. A lot of the songs on the album are about money, are about society, and kind of how they're fed up with a lot of the stuff that is in our society. And I just love this album. It's only 20 minutes. It's really short with 9 songs, but there's a lot to it, and it packs a punch. And I think because it's so short, it always makes me want to re-listen to it over and over again.
Yeah.
But it really makes me want to go see this band live, and hopefully they come out on the West Coast, because they play a lot of shows on the East Coast and the Midwest. But I don't know, Choncy, this album is amazing. If you're into punk and post-punk, and like they said, angular guitar tones, check this album out. It's so good. Can't recommend it enough.
I definitely enjoyed this album that Cole chose as well. It's a very rebellious, angry, angsty, yelly, but it's very enjoyable to listen to.
Because this is kind of different from what stuff you listen to, right?
Yeah.
This is not your normal cup of tea.
Even the punk that I normally listen to isn't usually quite this up-tempo and this aggressive necessarily, but I definitely enjoyed it. Definitely something to get you pumped. Definitely something to, you know what I mean? Yeah. Uh-huh. So, I also recommend this album. So talking about Frankie Traandruppel, I could not find almost any information about this artist.
Yeah. Well, actually, can you let's go over how you, I guess, how did you just come to find this artist?
Yeah.
And maybe how did you decide to pair it with my album?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So with Cole's picking of this album that is by an artist I hadn't heard before, Choncy, I listened to it one time completely. And then I actually went on to Spotify and created a playlist. And I called it, let me see, I called it Choncy and Friends. Or no, I called it Friends of Choncy.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And what I did is I created like a ton of different radio stations for each song on the album, actually.
Oh, okay. Crazy.
And then I went through each of those radio stations. And
So you were just working the algorithm. You're like,
I was like working the algorithm,
you're trying to see like
and I was
Spotify give
trying
me
to,
something
like,
good.
and I was like trying to tap into something that felt like it was like complementary but different. And like I discovered a lot of cool artists. Like in addition to Frankie Traandruppel, Broken Hearts Are Blue, the Wind-Ups. I discovered Ribbon Stage, just a lot of cool artists. And
I'll have to check those guys out because I've never heard of any of those.
and we had like a little campfire the other week.
Yeah.
I actually was playing that playlist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there
and
was
you were digging it.
I was
Yeah.
digging it. Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
good stuff on there.
And one of the artists towards the end of this search that came up was this obscure artist, Frankie Traandruppel. Frankie Traandruppel only has 510 monthly listeners on Spotify. There isn't much about him on line. Like I couldn't find much. And it looks like he is based out of Belgium. It looks like that's where most of his shows are. The album is in English. The album Castling is in English. In terms of discography, he released a few albums in 2023. He released Step by Step Operation, Days on End, and Castling, all in 2023. And Castling is the one that I chose. If I were to describe his sound, I would say it's kind of like garage band, dormitory punk meets some folky vibes. Yeah. Are you picking up what I'm laying down?
Yeah, but this is how I would describe him because as soon as I heard like the first song, because I listened to the album, like so the first song I heard by him was Humbug, which is the first track on the album. Instantly, this guy loves Lou Reed and he loves the Velvet Underground. So if you love the Velvet Underground or Lou Reed, you're gonna love this guy.
Yeah.
He sings almost exactly like Lou Reed.
Yeah.
His lyrics are very Lou Reed
Inspired.
So yeah, if you're a fan of them, you're gonna like this. So very much in the vein of that proto punk vein, and then also a little bit of, I mean, a lot of the songs are poppy, but they're garage rock as well. So
kind of dormitory vibe.
Yeah. Anyway, proto punk, Velvet Underground. That's what I would say.
I totally agree.
So.
That's so funny that you mentioned.
Did you know, his name? Because his name's not actually Frankie.
Yeah, tell me. Tell me what his name is.
So I don't know what his name is, but Frankie Traandruppel is actually German for teardrop. So he's referencing a proto punk band called Suicide, which is from the 70s, and they came out with a song called Frankie Teardrop. So he just made it German and made it Frankie Traandruppel. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
see, Cole is good at researching these.
So I'm sure he's. I looked it up because I was curious what it was. So I'm sure he's very influenced by Suicide as well. Suicide's more of like early synth punk because they just use drum machines and synths.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's influenced by them.
Which he does have some
synths
synths in this album, but
yeah. And the other thing I noticed about the album too is a lot of the instrumentation and everything is garage rock, but his vocals, whatever he does with the vocals, seems like he makes the vocals a little more lo-fi than everything else.
I agree.
It's something that I noticed too when I was listening to
the songs. Well, and he
songs.
definitely, in some of the songs, he definitely like processes the vocals through some kind of thing that's modifying the sound, like on some of the songs. Like some of them, it's extra crackly.
I'm sure he records to tape.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well, Cole, we both introduced our albums. Do we want to go through? We each chose some songs that we appreciated or that stood out to us on the albums. Do we want to go through? Do you want to start us out?
Yeah, let's just talk about some of the highlights from both of our albums. I'll go ahead and I guess share my first song. which about Choncy. I also failed to mention that Choncy has one more other album called Community Chest, which came out last year, and then they have a handful of other singles. So they're a fairly new band, so they don't have a whole lot out. But the first song that I really liked from 20X Multiplier is the song Big Time Lotto. I just want big time lotto. I just want big time lotto. This song is super cool. There's a lot of energy to it. I guess most notably, the most catchiest part of the song is the chorus, because the lyrics are, I just want big time lotto. And so I really like that. It's really catchy. So what's your first song on your album?
So
Court?
I actually chose Humbug, which is the first song in the album.
But I had to stop and see just what was happening here. How come it feels so unreal? To the point now.
There's kind of a more fried element to the vocals that I like, kind of the lo-fi thing that you were talking about, kind of the way that he enunciates in this song. Just he has a little bit more of like a fried, I don't know how else to put it, like this, like his vocals feel a little more fried. There's a accordion-like synth that comes in pretty early on in the song that I really enjoyed. It's got pretty standard drums playing in the background. I just really like how the vocals feel raw on this one. There's a sincerity, kind of almost a sweetness to this song, tenderness. It's got a really catchy bridge where he says, time to make time for ourselves, time to make time for ourselves. And yeah, it's, to me, this is kind of a nostalgic, bittersweet, song. What did you think about Humbug?
I liked it a lot. I thought that was the first song that I heard on the album, and
Yeah.
it instantly drew me into the album. It's more mellow than some of the other songs that come later in the album, but I liked it. I enjoyed that one a lot.
For sure. It's definitely more of a mellow vibe. That's where I'm kind of saying it's almost like punk meets folk a little bit. Like, and I like, what was the word, proto-punk that you used? Yeah, it's kind of like a proto-punky, semi-folky song.
Yeah, when I'm saying proto punk, I just mean like before punk was like big, like defined.
The 70s. Yeah. And I really enjoy that accordion like synth that he includes in the background. So, yeah. All right, let's go to your next song.
My next song is actually the next song on the Choncy album. It's called Moderator. This one is super fast and super frantic, and the chorus on this again is he's just screaming moderator, and he's just kind of going back and forth on that. This song is just super fast and frantic, and I guess I like that a lot. Some crazy drum parts, on this track, but it's just a lot of fun.
Just really accelerated drums, like. You know the drummer was having a good time on this one.
He was having fun, yeah.
You got that high-pitched, twangy guitar in there. And he's just, moderator!
Yeah.
Moderator!
Yep. So what was your next track, Court?
My next track is The Lone Ranger.
Oh, that was one of my favorite songs from that album.
This one is the first one where it starts to get a little more screamy, like a little like, and it's not really towards the end of the song that there's like this guttural scream. Like 2/3 of the way into the song, there's like this guttural scream. It starts out with like a faster guitar riff, and then the drums and bass come in, kind of accelerated. The lyrics are like half spoken, half sung at the beginning, and then like a minute in, the vocals stop being spoken and are sung, and it's like really raw, kind of half shouted vocals. Mm-hmm. And then it alternates again with those spoken vocals. I feel like this song is about sorrow, like it's like for the sacrifice of a hero. I think like I was trying to interpret the lyrics, and that's kind of what I took from it. And even though it kind of has like this like mournful subject matter, it's pretty up tempo. Mm-hmm. And then 2/3 of the way through, like I said, there's that guttural scream. It feels kind of like an ode to like somebody who isn't recognized for their heroism, and I think who has sacrificed a lot. The screaming and the grungy guitar and bass all add to the elements of this song. I feel like if you had to choose a song that's like encapsulates the scope of the album, like the different elements, like you have the spoken vocals, the screaming, the more raw sung vocals, and the grungy guitar and bass. I feel like it kind of is a microcosm of the album as a whole. Did you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, these were actually one of my top 4 songs for this album. This song definitely feels to me like the main single from the album. I'm not sure if that's like what he was thinking when he was writing it, but yeah, this was one of my favorites on the album as well.
Awesome.
So this is a good pick.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, and I think this is actually it's his most streamed song.
Oh, is it?
Like
really?
On Spotify, at least. Yeah, with 10,000 streams.
It's definitely, if you want to get a vibe for the album as a whole.
Yeah, this is a good song to
listen
check
to
out.
And you'll be like, oh, okay. And you'll know whether you'll like the album or not, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Okay, so the next track that I want to talk about on 20X Multiplier is the song Cover Letter. And a lot of the lyrics on this song are they're really funny, talking about basically not wanting to have to write a cover letter for like a resume for a job, like because we all need money, and right now it's really hard to even buy food right now in the U.S. So like just talking about money and having to do these little things that are sometimes annoying, which I really relate to. Sometimes there's these things that are really frustrating to us, like in our society, that we have to do. And I feel like this song encapsulates that as far as like the lyrics.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this song.
And basically, like the main riff is, the main lyric is, "I don't want to write a cover letter."
Yeah.
and
and I like how this one starts out with and go.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how to, it's just like.
You can feel the aggression and the fed upness almost of it.
When you listen to 20X Multiplier, be prepared. It's like this wave will hit you.
A tornado.
A tornado. That's a good description.
It's a tornado of sounds and anger and just like you can
frustration
feel it.
With the status quo.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's why I resonated with the album so much.
Yeah.
And then it also it makes me laugh too, because my wife, she used to be an English teacher, high school English teacher. And so sometimes she will correct me on things, and which is totally good and totally fine, makes me a smarter person. But it's like almost like this cover letter thing like reminds me of like being in school or like in college and like in my English class and having to learn how to like this is how you write a cover letter da 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 da. And so like some of that also like I think Kate like made me like relate to the song too.
That's funny.
So
That's funny. No, yeah, it's a great song, and I'm glad you chose it. This one was definitely one of my faves from the album. Just the like the
yeah, exactly.
like
The frustration.
I can't even do it as good.
Yeah.
As Choncy. Yeah.
So what's your next song, Corey?
So the next song I chose is "Knock Your Boots."
I ain't trying to dissipate, knock your boots to relay. It's just part of the way. I ain't trying to dissipate, knock your boots to relay.
And this one is definitely one of the more aggressive songs on the album. It starts with an almost like game show feeling bass riff with an elasticy guitar.
That sound that you're talking about, that's elastically, that's actually a wah pedal that he's using. And I'm pretty sure that's just the guitar with a wah pedal.
Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, it's just
And
a
you've
wah
got this
pedal.
bass in the background that's like kind of, it almost feels like
Well,
funky.
Yeah, I mean what the bass and the drums are doing are also kind of similar to Chauncey in that they're kind of angular. So bum 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 bum.
Yeah.
They're not like a straight ahead beat, and I think that's probably where you're thinking like the funkiness of it too.
Yeah, and then it comes in and there's like a little
Yeah.
About a minute in, it goes full scream. Yeah, with a driving guitar beat. And it's a really interesting juxtaposition between the kind of humorous game showy guitar and bass riffs that are kind of, like you said, angular, kind of off-tempo, funky sound, with these moments of accelerated drums and screaming. It's a really interesting juxtaposition. And then there's also what sounds like a xylophone during the calmer moments of the song that I thought was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And the vocal growl this guy has when he's screaming is quite impressive, actually.
Yeah, it is impressive.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
So this one will be for people who like Cole's album. I feel like this is the song that connects the most, arguably, just with the angular aspect of it, but also the screaming and the anger that it's expressed. Do you have any thoughts, or do you want to go to your song?
I was actually gonna say I think I could see what you're saying about "Knock Your Boots," but I think that one that relates a little more to Chauncey is the song "Working Retail," because that's like a really short, like fast punk.
Oh, that's
it's almost
true.
like a punk song too. Like
That's true.
It's like a garage punk song.
Yeah,
which this
totally.
was like one of my favorite ones on the album as well. Yeah, "Working Retail," and it also relates to the frustration of society and having to work this menial job to get through life.
And
to
it's
have
a
to-
shorter one. It's like less than a minute.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
again, it relates to punk and what punk is. Punk sometimes is short, aggressive songs
Yeah.
that are about getting your aggression out. So I feel like that song, for me personally, I think it relates to
connects.
Chauncey's album probably the most.
I think topically as well, because it's like frustration at.
Also, the next track too, "Divided by Zero" on the Frankie
Yes.
album, that also is, it's really intense as well. It's
Yeah.
similar to the previous track.
I enjoy Divided by Zero, but it was really hard for me to limit it to 4 songs. Like, this is a great album, you guys. Like,
It is really
I
good.
feel like I struck gold. Like, this guy only has 500 listeners a month, and I'm like, we need to get this
really-
guy out there.
It's really good.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about maybe interviewing him, but we weren't able to get a hold of him.
Yeah,
But,
I still want to pursue that. So,
It would-
Frankie
yeah.
Traandruppel, if you randomly see that you have randomly been featured on a podcast, and you're like, who are these random boys from Idaho?
Yeah.
We're from Idaho in the U.S. We're just starting out. I would love to interview you about this album or some of your more recent work if you have something that you're working on. I think you deserve to have your name out there.
Yeah, and we would if you end up interviewing us, we'd definitely put that episode, that
Yeah.
recording out for people to listen.
Yeah,
So.
I'd love to hear about your creative process. Okay.
Okay, my last song for the Choncy album is the song Default, which is the second to last song on the album.
I guess I'll default on my spending. I guess I'll default on my spending. Cut checks.
This song really exemplifies the post-punk aspect of their music. So this song still has a lot of intensity, and there's still a lot of aggressiveness in it, but it is more angular than some of the other songs.
Can you explain what angular means for like a layperson who doesn't necessarily like? It's going to be hard to explain, but like, does it just mean like it's kind of off tempo, like things are kind of juxtaposed with different tempos going at the same time? Does it mean more funky vibes? Like what? How would you describe angular?
I think what you just said, I mean, all of those things are really good definitions of
Really?
what angular are. Yeah, you kind of like
I hit the nail on the head.
I think you kind of got it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is a compliment from our resident musician to tell me this.
Yeah. So, and like with the chorus of the song, the lyrics are, I guess I'll default all my spending. Like I'll kind of take back some of the money that I'm spending and watch what I'm doing. But there is
cut checks.
Yeah, cut checks. And there's a lot of different there's kind of some funky kind of guitar parts like bang bang
Yeah.
ding. And then the drums and bass parts, they're very syncopated. There's different stops, rests in the song that just make it really interesting and give it that angular vibe, which means that it's not always going to be straight ahead. There's going to be some stops and starts that give it dimension, gives it corners. But I think this is a really good song. It's a little bit of a departure from some of the other more intense parts and vocals and screaming parts on the album, but I really like this song a lot. And it's also super catchy.
Yeah. One song that you didn't mention that I really appreciated was Dead Meat. Dead Meat to me felt like the most, in a punk album that's all about protesting the status quo, this one felt like the most protesting of like society in general and like what's going on in, I assume, the United States, since this artist is from the United States. Mm-hmm. And I just really appreciate Dead Meat. It's actually probably my favorite song on the album. It's definitely just like an angry, rebellious, angsty, like I am fed up with the way that society expects me and expects us to contribute to these things that hurt people, hurt ourselves, and like we're part of this system. I refuse to be part of the system is basically the message of Dead Meat. And I vibed with it. So,
Well, I'm glad. So.
yeah. And then, what are your thoughts on the album?
So I just want to say my final thoughts on the album are this album is unique in its own right. I mean, it still has a lot of the hardcore / punk influences you can hear in it. But the other thing that I thought was cool, I don't know which one of the guitar players, but they, on some of the songs, they use the whammy bar a lot, which is kind of interesting. So it kind of makes the notes pitch up and down. And not a lot of punk bands that I've seen use that, especially in the way that they use it. So that was kind of interesting. That was something that kind of, I thought, gave the album its own kind of little flair to it. And then also the singer can sing really good, and he can also scream really good. So I really liked that a lot. The drumming was really tight. And those are kind of like my final thoughts on the album. This is like stuff that I try to make when I write my own music. I mean, it's not exactly like I don't make the same type of stuff Choncy does, but they definitely inspire me
To create.
as a musician, and to try to keep pushing forward. And I like the lyrical messages of some of the songs because I can relate to those frustrating things about society. So anyway, please go listen to the album, and if you like it, then awesome. Share it with other people. If you don't, then at least you listen to something
Tried
that
something new.
you tried something new. So
Yeah. Be prepared for a tornado.
yeah. So let's talk about your last song on the Frankie album.
So there were a lot of. It was really hard for me to limit the choice down to 4 songs. Ultimately, I decided to go with this one for its uniqueness on the album. It is the only song to feature another artist, and it's very ambient and haunting, with a acoustic guitar that kind of keeps us grounded in the midst of these ambient, kind of ethereal vocals. And this song is Ocean Song. It features an artist by the name of Bontritters, also based out of Belgium, as far as I could tell. Not a lot of information available online. As far as I can see, Bontritter is a surname. I couldn't find a translation. I don't know if you had more success with that.
I didn't look into that artist, so I'm not sure.
She's a female artist. I saw that she has released some work with a lot of like synths and things like that. Anyway, this specific song also has the continued bittersweet melancholia that a lot of the songs have as an undertone. And it has an interesting sound effect, like audio tones playing in reverse in it as well. As far as my final thoughts on the album, I felt like it was a nostalgic album with a lot of like songs that were rhythmically upbeat, but lyrically bittersweet or melancholic or frustrated with the way things are. And I felt like overall it just made me feel, it felt like Choncy was a bit of a like punch in the face, like punch of energy, and like you just like, it's like this angry, and I felt like in juxtaposition with the 20X Multiplier album, this was more of a like warm, like softer vibe, and just it was like a comfort album to me. Like as I listened to it, I felt like a feeling of nostalgia and comfort and warmth there, and there's almost like a, I don't know, bittersweet tenderness to this album. I don't know how to,
Yeah.
I feel, do you get what I'm saying? Like
I do. From my point of view, this album, it's like the music and like where he's coming from is like that garage lo-fi vein,
yeah,
but he's got the lyrics of a singer-songwriter.
yeah,
So he's got like this attitude, like punk kind of attitude with the music, but then he's got, the soft side would be like the lyrics. And I think that's also a little bit that plays into the nostalgia too, is the lyrics as well. It's kind of the same vibe I get when I listen to the Velvet Underground or Lou Reed, which is like, he's very similar to them.
Analogy.
The other thing that I liked about this album too is that there's those intense songs like we talked about, like Working Retail and the Lone Ranger, but then there's also these like little instrumental tracks that he throws in there that don't have any lyrics but give like a certain vibe. So this album to me is super vibey, which I think it does relate back to you're feeling that it's like nostalgia.
Yeah.
So I could see that.
And did it at all make sense why I paired it?
It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
And when you did, you were like, I picked this song because this guy kind of reminds me of like the music you make.
Yeah, it totally does.
And
yeah.
I can see that like the lo-fi aspect, garage rock, which is similar to some of the stuff that I make.
And your vocals actually sound similar.
I wish I sounded this good as this guy. You're too nice. But yeah, this guy, he can really sing too, which is awesome. And scream, like we talked about before.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and that's also similar to the singer in Choncy.
Yeah.
They can do both, so.
And it does feature some shorter tracks, which is interesting. Some like there's one, Questioning the Meaning of My Life. It's 47 seconds. There's like one that's like 59 seconds, 20 seconds.
Yeah, this album has 19 songs.
Yeah.
But it's only 40 minutes.
Exactly.
So some of them, are going to be short.
Yeah, it feels like you're just being treated to this like very vibey. I liked your summation of it. This like kind of like experience of all these different songs added together contribute to like this journey.
There was one thing I did want to ask actually before we end. What's your thoughts on the album title for Castling? Why do you think it's called that?
Castling is a move in chess where you bring in your king, or you send your king towards the outside of the board. It can be on either side of the board, and you switch it with your castle.
The rook.
Yeah, with the rook.
Yeah.
And it's a defensive move to protect the king. And it's a really common move when you get to a certain level of play because it takes your king out of a more vulnerable position and kind of puts it in the corner behind three or four pawns that are able to protect it. And so what do I think about this?
Yeah,
That's an excellent question.
I'm sure he picked it. Do you think because of that? Because of the chess?
I'm sure. I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of with castling. I think maybe it reflects that you're kind of circling your wagons. You're kind of protecting your king. You're kind of protecting what's important to you. It's kind of like a move that you do to bring your king out of danger's way. I don't know how that relates to the album exactly.
Yeah, so Frankie, let us interview you so we can ask these questions.
Yeah, because I just said a whole bunch of nothing about it, but I mean, at least I explained the move of the.
No,
chess.
that is interesting to know. What do you think about the album artwork?
I thought it was really cool.
Like, do you know who did it, or?
I don't. It's just this abstract piece. It kind of looks like a sun or a target up in the sky with then a more like angular set of lines at the bottom.
It also kind of like, so when you were saying circling the wagons, like it has the orange color in there. So, and then there's the song Lone Ranger. So
I wonder, could be.
I wonder if
it's
there's
like
kind
a
of
target.
I wonder if there's some kind of Western type of.
Yeah.
But I mean, we could be reading into it too.
We're totally
it could be,
interpreting.
It could be just like he just thought that it looks cool and then it represented that. But anyway, I don't know.
No, I'm glad you asked me, even though I butchered the description.
No, you're okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I hope you guys listen to these albums. Tell us what you think. Tell us. It's hard to put into words sometimes the experience of songs. It's a little bit like being told, like, hey, describe that flavor. It's like, okay, it's salty. Okay, use a word other than salt. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're describing something that in a way is ineffable and beyond like what words can really describe when it comes to songs. So I felt like this time, this is one where you will definitely benefit from listening to the album before you engage with it. And you could tell us what songs you think we might have skipped over that you appreciated more, or things you might even disagree with us on.
Oh yeah, please do tell us how you disagree with
that. And how we can improve. I mean, we're new to this and we are excited to be doing this.
But I think the thing is about these two albums that we're passionate about them. Like we liked these albums a lot. We liked them enough to put them on our podcast and share them with you. So please go listen to them because you will not regret it.
both of these artists deserve to have more listens.
Yep, they deserve more attention. So
Yeah. So it's fun to be able to cast a spotlight on them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys next time. We're going to be talking about movies next time, and next time we're going to be having our first special guest. So look out for that,
Yeah.
and we'll see you guys later. Bye.